had to wait. I wanted to wait until that program was now there, and there's a lot more stable ones out now.
Good.
Yeah, that's definitely really important. Next question is from the Mounting, who says, how do you find a healthy life and streaming balance? Is there such a thing as too many days off?
It's one of those subjects.
I've got zero answers for that.
This is something we talk about very often.
I have a do what I say, not what I do situation.
Yeah, don't listen to what Hunter does. I know that for a fact.
Don't take what I do, but I definitely have a really good perspective on it. What were you saying, Loco?
We've had a couple of shows on this topic. If my mods could help me, it is a very tough topic. Is there such a thing as too many days off? For streaming, yes. I mean, there is, like, if you take a lot of time off, it's hard to grow. It's hard to keep your following. Yeah. I mean, if you need it, that's a different thing, right? Like, you got to do what's best for you ultimately.
Absolutely.
But if you're asking whether it's gonna hurt your stream,
it's gonna hurt. But you make that relationship with your community, they'll be back. I wouldn't worry about it.
But I think that Dan and I have talked about this specific thing before. That the nature of it hurting your stream is within a very narrow context. That assumes that a stream can only be benefited in certain ways. Metrics are the only way in which streams can be benefited. But there are a lot of easy arguments to make and a lot more complex ones as well beyond that for why that's not necessarily true. Most obvious and relatively extreme one is that if you have one billionaire who watches your stream constantly and you satisfy whatever that billionaire's needs are for entertainment, who cares? Stream once a month. And if they're just going to be feeding you money, so what's the nature of success there? If the nature of success is just getting tons of viewers, we can do that with a lot of games and not make a good career out of streaming. I have a sub count dramatically higher than people with 10,000 viewers sometimes for a variety of reasons. Health of stream is not the same thing as having, 100 new followers every day, having a higher viewer count this month than last month. That's not necessarily the nature of a healthy stream. And a lot of that ties back into a healthy streamer. And the obvious examples are if you're unhealthy and you have to take a lot of days off because you didn't treat your health and your life well at an earlier point, and now you're frazzled and now you're feeling fragmented and fractured in your mind, and you're eating trash food and you're burning out. Well, how's that going to help the success of your stream? Right. So a lot of it's foresight, a lot of it's like vision, like what do you actually want to achieve? How can you do that best? All that stuff ties in together. Success is not as direct and straightforward as those numbers just keep going up. Taking days off can be less successful producing in a certain light, but ultimately that I don't think that's inherently true. And it's a trap every single one of us gets into. Probably 10 minutes before that question, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, oh, I want those numbers to be bigger and better.
Well, I mean, there's a such thing as streaming too much too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you stream too much for several reasons. That's bad. One, if you get burnt out, I probably don't want to watch your stream because you're probably not on top of your game. You're probably not even close to the top of your game because you're so tired. You're so exhausted. You're not feeling well. Things are just going badly. Plus, like, if you're streaming all the time, no matter what, 24/7, you're going to run out of content. You're going to run out of things to say. People are going to get bored of you because
you're repeating the same jokes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And so, I mean, they talked about this. They talk about this with OPG a lot. There's a reason that they work on programs to give their streamers vacations, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to step out and just refresh. Because I'll tell you right now, a happy streamer is a better streamer always.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. Completely agree. 100% completely agree.
Yeah. Oh, what?
I said I was trying to talk then, but I realized I'd muted myself.
Oh.
Something that happens on my stream quite a lot. But I was just going to... Sorry, go on, Loco. You can speak first. Though.
Oh, no. I was going to move on, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, I am really bad for having the unhealthy balance. I'll get to the stage
I think we all are.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get to the stage where I've got everything right and I'm sleeping the right hours and I'm like getting up and starting at the right times. And then all of a sudden I'll have a new idea or a new project and I'll spend one whole night editing or like researching something or creating a whole new scene that takes 3 hours instead of 10 minutes, and you end up getting 3 hours sleep that night, and then that's it. You're on a spiral, and it just spirals out of control. And I think a couple of weeks ago, I actually, over the course of 4 days, I probably had about 15 hours, 18 hours sleep, which is just not great. And
for a whole week,
over 4 days,
or over 4 days or something like that. It was something silly. It was something like I was lucky if I got 4 hours or 3 hours. And I overwork myself at times, but I will say that no matter what, if you're concentrating on at least, and I say at least, giving yourself 2 days off, you must have those 2 days off just away from everything if you can. A lot of people try streaming 6-7 days a week, and I think that that's a really easy way of burning yourself out. Not having at least those 2 days.
Some of this can be, I think, a personal thing. It's something I come back to a lot is knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses. What you can't do is look at that guy over there. I'm the guy in this example. Look at the guy over there and go like, oh, sometimes he streams for 9 to 15 days in a row, 12 hours a day, 12 hours plus. And look at the good things that are happening there. I should try and do the same thing because I want whatever those things are. A lot of people ask me questions about that, and I'm like, it works for me. I know myself very well, and this is what I did before I started streaming too. Is I would work 100-hour weeks as a painter, but I would take 3 weeks off at a time. I would take these big chunks of time off because I work really well with that. You probably don't. Most people don't work really well with that kind of thing. It's very damaging. It's very painful, but not for me. I know where my strengths and weaknesses are. This is something that I can do, and it works really well. I know how to balance it out. Balance is the key, and you have to know what that is for you. And for most people, it is consistently taking days off to get that refresh, to get that recharge. You plug your phone in at night. Why the hell don't you do that with your damn body? It takes some time. Refresh yourself, revivify.
Well, I'm sure you guys talk about this a lot, but doing what somebody else does because that works for them is it's shooting your stream in the face, right?
It's a horrible idea.
Ever good. Don't ever compare yourself. You are you, and you're good. You're just as good as you are as anybody else being them.
Yeah, it's interesting. We actually touched on a lot of these topics. I was at GardenCon this weekend, and we did a panel called The Evolution of Content Creation. And we touched on a lot of these topics. Yeah, and it was really cool because we had streamers from each platform and a YouTuber. And I mean, it's pretty much the same answer. It's like we can each give our own advice, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to figure out what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different than, what I do or what Hunter does.
Loco was the Twitch representative.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent the whole time talking about Mixer and the other platforms. Now they're growing.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be a big topic because Twitch is pretty established. These others are growing, so there's gonna be a lot of speak around that. But I mean, in the end, they're taking kind of what we've learned, and because if they don't, there's gonna be a lot of mistakes and stuff missed, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a rapidly changing environment.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Chubby, who says, "Hi, I have a question.